was given a separate classroom with desktops converted with mats, serving as wrestling tables. Antonio thought he caught a glimpse of Felix waving to him from a room at the far end of the corridor. He waved back just in case it had been him. The fighters changed from the street clothes into fighting gear. Antonio wore white trunks, black socks, and black shorts. Felix wore sky blue trunks, red socks, and white boxing shoes. They had dressing gowns to match their fighting trunks with their names neatly stitched on the back. The loudspeakers blared into the open windows of the school. There were there were speeches by dignitaries, community leaders, and great boxers of yesteryear. Some were well prepared, and some improvised on the spot. They all carried the same message of great pleasure and honor at being part of such a historic event. This great day was in the tradition of championships emerging from the streets of the Lower East Side. Interven from the speeches were the sounds of the other boxers' boxing events. After the sixth bout, Felix, so much relieved with the stranger, Charlie said, "Time's changed. Quick knockout. This is it. We're on." Waiting time was over. Felix was escorted from the classroom by a dozen fans in white t-shirts with the word "Felix" across their fronts. Antonio was escorted down a different stairwell and guided through a roped-off path. As the two climbed into the ring, the crowd exploded with a roar. Antonio and Felix both glanced gracefully, and they raised their arms in acknowledgement. Antonio tried to be cool, but even as the roar was in first burst, he turned slowly to meet Felix's eyes. Looking directly into his, Felix nodded his head, and Antonio responded, and both explained, just as quickly turned away to his own corner. Bong bong, bong bong, bong bong bong. The Lord turned to stillness. Ladies and gentlemen, senors and senoritas, the announcer spoke slowly, pleased at his bilingual efforts. Now the moment we have all been waiting for, the main event between two fine young Puerto Rican fighters, product of our Lower East Side, Louisiana, called out a member of the audience. In the corner, weighing 134 pounds, Felix Vargas in the corner, in, and in this corner, weighing 133 pounds, Antonio Cruz. The winner will represent the boys' club in the tournament of champions in the Golden Gloves. There will be no draw. May the best man win. Cheering of the crowd shook the window panes of the old building surrounding Tompkins Square Park. At the center of the ring, the referee was giving instructions to the youngsters. Keep your punches. No loud blows. No punching on the back of the head. Keep your heads up. Understand? Let's have a clean fight. Now shake hands and come out fighting. Both youngsters touched gloves and nodded. They turned and danced quickly to their corners. Their head towels and dressing gowns were lifted neatly from their shoulders. Antonio crossed himself. Felix did the same. Bong, bong. Round one. Felix and Antonio turned their faces to each other, squarely in a fighting pose. Felix wasted no time. He came in fast, head low, half hunched. toward his right shoulder and lashed out with a straight left. He missed a right cross at Antonio, slipped the punch, and countered with 1, 2, 3 lefts that snapped Felix's head back, sending a mild shock coursing through him. If Felix had any small doubt about their friendship affecting their fight, it was being neatly dispelled. Antonio danced a joy to behold. His left hand was like a piston pumping jabs one, right after another with seeming ease. Felix bobbed and weaved and never stopped boring in. He knew that at long range he was a disadvantage. Antonio had too much to reach, too much to had too much reach on him. Only by coming in close could Felix hope to achieve the dreamed of knockout. Antonio knew the dynamite that was stored in Amiga's brother's fist. He ducked a short right and missed a left hook. Felix trapped him against the rope just long enough to pour some punishing rights and lefts to Antonio's hard midsection. Antonio slipped away from Felix, crashing 2 lefts to his head, which set Felix's right ear to ringing. Bong! Both Migos froze. A punch well on its way, and sending up a roar of approval for good sportsmanship. Felix walked briskly back to his corner. His right ear had not stopped ringing. Antonio gracefully danced his way toward his stool, none the worse, except for glowing glove burns showing angry red against the whiteness of his midribs. Watch, watch the right, Tony, his trainer talked into his ear. Remember, Felix always goes up to the body. He'll want you to drop your hands for his overhead hand, left or right. Got it? Antonio nodded, spraying water out between his teeth. He felt better as his sore midsection was being firmly rubbed. Felix's corner was also busy. You gotta get in there, fella. Felix's trainer poured water over his curly afro locks. Get in there, or he's gonna chop you up from way back. Bong, bong. Round 2. Felix was off his stool and rushed Antonio like a bull, sending a hard right to his head. But beads of water exploded from Antonio's long hair. Antonio hurt, sent back a blurring barrage of lefts and rights that only meant pain to Felix, who returned with a short left to the head, followed by a looped right to the body. Antonio countered with his own flurry, forcing Felix to give ground. But not for long. Felix bobbed and weaved, occasionally punching his 2 gloves together. Antonio waited for the rush that was sure to come. Felix closed in and feinted with his left shoulder and threw a right instead. Light suddenly exploded inside Felix's head as Antonio slipped low and hit him with a piston-like left, catching him flush on the point of his chin. Bedlam broke loose at Felix's left and momentarily buckled. He fought off a series of rights and lefts and came back with a strong right that taught Antonio respect. Antonio danced in carefully. He knew Felix had the habit of playing possum when hurt, to succor an opponent within reach of the powerful bombs he carried in each fist. A right to the head slowed Antonio's pretty dancing. He answered with his own left at Felix's right eye that began puffing up within 3 seconds. Antonio's, a bit too eager, moved in too close, and Felix had him entangled into a rip-roaring, punching toe-to-toe slugfest that brought the whole Tompkins Square screaming into its feet. Rights to the body, left to the head, Neither fighter was giving an inch. Suddenly, a short right caught Antonio squarely on the shin. His long legs turned to jelly and his arms flailed out desperately. Felix grunt like a bull, threw wild punches from every direction. Antonio Gaggi bobbed and weaved, evading most of the blows. Suddenly his head cleared. His left flashed out hard and straight, catching Felix on the bridge of his nose. Felix slashed back with a haymaker right off the ghetto streets. At the same instant his eye caught another left hook from Antonio. Felix swung out, trying to clear the pain. Only the frenzied screaming of those along ringside let him know that he dropped Antonio, fighting off the growing haze. Antonio struggled to his feet, got up, ducked, and threw a smashing right that dropped Felix flat on his back. Felix got up as fast as he could in his own corner, gaudy but steel game. He didn't even hear the count. In the fog heard he heard the roaring of the crowd, who seemed to have gone insane. His head cleared to hear the bell sound at the end of the round. He was glad. His trainer sat him down on a stool. In his corner, Antonio was doing what all fighters do when they're hurt. They sat and smiled at everyone. The referee signaled the ring doctor to check the fighters out. He did so and then gave his okay. The cold water sponges brought clarity to both Migo brothers. They were rubbed until the circulation ran free. Boom! Round three, the final round. Up to now, it could be tic-tac-toe, pretty much even, but everyone knew that there could be no draw, and that this round would decide the winner. This time, to Felix's surprise, it was Antonio who came out fast, charging across the ring. Felix braced himself up to ward off the barrage of punches. Antonio drove Felix had along uh, Felix hard against the ropes. The crowd ate it. Thus far the two had forgot with macho cries. Felix tapped his gloves and commenced his attack anew. Antonio, throwing Boxer's caution to the winds, jumped in to meet him. Both pounded away, neither gave an inch and neither fell to the canvas. Felix's left eye was tightly closed, claret red blood poured from Antonio's nose. They fought toe to toe. The sounds of their blows were loud in contrast, bless you, to the sounds of a crowd gone completely mute. The referee was stunned by their savagery. Bong, bong, bong. The bell sounded over and over again. Felix and Antonio were past hearing. Their blows continued to pound on each other like hailstones. Finally, the referee and the two trainers pried Felix and Antonio apart. Cold water was poured over them to bring them back to their senses. They looked around and then rushed toward each other. A cry of alarm surged through Tompkins Square Park. Was the fight to the death instead of a boxing match? The fear soon gave way to wave upon wave of cheering as the two amigos embraced. No matter what the decision, they knew they would always be champions together, to each other. Bong, bong, bong. Ladies and gentlemen, senors and senoritas, the winner and representative to the Golden Gloves tournament champion is... The announcer turned to point the winner and found himself alone. Arm in arm, the championships had already left the ring.